ಶಿವಶೇಖರ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ದ್ವೈತಾದ್ವೈತ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತೀತ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ 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 ಪೂರಣ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಮದಾರಣ ಪೂರಣ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಮದಾರಣ ಆದಿಗುರುನಾಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಚತುರ್ವೇದ ಸರ್ವ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಕ ಸನ್ಮಾರ್ಗ ನಾಯಕ ಮಹಾಭಾವೇನ ಲಿಂಗೋದ್ಭವೇನ ಆನಂದ ರೂಪೇಣ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ 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 ತ್ಯಾಗರಾಜ
And participants who are joining today for the Nithyananda Yoga, let us all now start with the Sadguru Vandanam.
Nithyanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dhandhatitam Gaganasadrisham Tamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami.
The next we'll be chanting the Shivamula mantra Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha internally 11 times to invoke Paramashiva as we begin the Nithyananda Yoga. Please close your eyes and chant the Shivamula mantra internally 11 times. We'll be chanting it out loud for all of you to follow.
Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha.
Now we'll be entering into the Tattvachamanam to cleanse the body as we begin the Nithyananda Yoga. So please make sure you have your Panchapatram and Uddarni filled with fresh water. Now cup your palm in the Gokarna Mudra and pour an Uddarni of water into your right palm and sip the water from the base of the palm when the mantra Svada is chanted. Om Atma Tattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Now please wash your hands. With the base of your right hand thumb, wipe from right to left your lips as the mantra is chanted. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hand. Now with the tips of the index, middle and ring fingers, touch the upper lip and lower lip. Now wash your hands. And with the tips of your right hand, index finger and thumb, touch the right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of your right hand, ring finger and thumb, touch the right eye, left ear and right right ear and left ear. Now wash your hands. With the base of your right hand, little finger and thumb touch the navel center, right chest and left chest, and with all the tips of your fingers joined together, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder and heart center. And now we'll be entering into the Sankalpa, the conscious intention, the conscious resolution to manifest what you want to manifest in your life. What do you want to manifest today during the Nithyananda Yoga? So please take your right hand, place it over your left hand, keep it on your right thigh and hold the intention in your inner space, whatever you want to manifest today, as we chant the Sankalpa.
ॐ ममोपाथ समस्ता दुरिताक्षयद्वारा भगवन् श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवप्रीत्यर्थं श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वरि परमशिवशक्तिसमेता श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवप्रीत्यर्थं च अद्य पूर्वोका एकं दिना विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभदितो पूर्ण आरोग्ययुक्त दृढगात्र यौगिकशरीरसिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिवशक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानन्द योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये.
You don't go over it during the yoga. And before we begin the yoga today, I would like to give a small disclaimer for all of you. The yoga is only for general wellness and educational purposes. And before you do the yoga, please consult your doctor, especially if you have any health issues, you're pregnant. Please consult your doctor before doing the yoga, any practices, any pranayamas. And if any time during the yoga you feel tired, you feel you're not able to do the asana, please take rest. Do not go beyond your capacity and always listen to your body as you do the yoga. And now let us all start with the warm-ups. So we can all stand up and lift your right leg to a 90-degree angle and start rotating the ankles in a clockwise direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's move on to our knees. Bring your hands to your knees and start rotating your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's move on to our hips now. Stand up, spread your legs apart a little bit and move front as much as you can, then to the side, to the back. Feel the stretch in your hips and legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's spread our legs a little bit more apart. Go down as much as you can. Bring your palms to the ground. And if you can do this comfortably, bring your forearms also to the ground and feel the stretch in your legs. Now come to your right, walk up to your right leg. Try touching your head to your knee. Stay there for a few moments. Now walk up to your left leg. Okay, let's come back to a standing position. Bring your hands towards your chest and let's start rotating as back as you can, getting a stretch in the torso. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now let's move to our shoulders. Bring your hands to your shoulders and start rotating it as wide as you can, bringing your shoulders to touch in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now let's move to the head. Start rotating your head slowly. Do it very slowly, don't hurt yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now we'll be entering into a very powerful meditation, the skeleton dance, which strengthens the very bone structure of your life. So take a moment, close your eyes and visualize yourself as pure bones. You're nothing except just a skeleton. You don't have skin, you don't have muscles, you're just a skeleton. And slowly now start shaking your body. Continue to hold the visualization of being a skeleton.
पांडुरंग जय विठ्ठले 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 पांडुरंग जय विठ्ठले 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 नित्यनारायण नित्यानंद नित्यनारायण नित्यानंद नित्यनारायण नित्यानंद नित्यनारायण
And now let's all settle down. So now we'll be actually beginning the Chathurtiya Vinyasa Krama, the first part. So the first asana is Kecharasana. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Kecharasanam nama padmasanasta jihvaya talum sprishan nasagram drishtim nidhat khe vicharati yogi.
This asana, we are going to be sitting in Padmasana, and so place your thighs on top of the opposite, place your legs on top of the opposite thighs and place your hands on your knees and keep your spine straight. So here we'll also be performing the Kechari Mudra, where you will be turning your tongue gently back and upward into the hollow of your mouth. And we'll also be performing the Pratyahara Kumbhaka. So inhale deeply and hold your breath while withdrawing your senses, and bring your attention inwards as you hold as long as you can comfortably. And exhale slowly now. And you're going to be repeating this inhalation and exhalation. We'll be engaging all the three bandhas here. The Mahamudra bandha, so tuck your chin to your chest, lock your perineum in the Mula bandha, as well as suck your stomach in and up in the Charandara bandha. Gaze at the tip of your nose and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize your awareness lifting from the body into the vast expanse of inner sky, and see yourself drift weightlessly through luminous space, moving beyond earth-bound limits into this silent freedom where only pure consciousness abides. Good. Now you can relax. Let us move to the next asana.
The next is Agrasanam, the front seated pose. This comes from the Malla Purana. Agrasanam cha pratamam parashvada asanam api adam madhyasanam tataiva anyat simhasanam api uchyate.
Now continue to remain seated in Padmasana and place your hands on your knees. We'll continue, you can unlock the Kechari Mudra, but we'll continue with the Pratyahara Kumbhaka. And here we'll only be engaging the Udhyana Bandha. So you'll be sucking your stomach in and up. And gaze at your third eye now. And continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize your body as a sacred vessel, spine as a radiant mala of 108 luminous beads, a sacred garland offered upward, and energy flows gently along this threaded axis, awakening each knot, carrying your devotion to the divine source in effortless accent. Relax. Let us move to the next asana.
The next asana is Naradalaya Mudra, Narada's melody seal. This comes from Sutra Hatha Yoga. Recha katarkamim kumbhaka jyo mudrena ma kechari vadipom layame vahi naradaki laya jata harhota jakka bhaya.
Now again continue to remain seated in Padmasana. Now you'll be placing your hands in the Bindu Mudra, so your thumb, and you'll engage the Kechari Mudra. Turn your tongue inside, gently back and upward into the hollow of your mouth. Continue with the Pratyahara Kumbhaka and lock your perineum now in the Mula Bandha. Gaze forward. Continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham and visualize the flame of consciousness glowing steadily within. As Narada's celestial melody arises, its notes carry your awareness into blissful absorption. In this sacred rhythm, all your fears dissolve, leaving only the pure joy of the soul's eternal song. Now let's move to the next asana.
The next is Humkarasana, the roaring hum pose. This comes from Trul Khor, part 3. Guhyavayum nadyamadva akarshtum upayah padmasane tatum stapya hastadvayam parshvayos nyaset.
Now again continue to remain seated in Padmasana, and now we'll be placing the hands on the sides of the stomach here, and we have here we'll be performing the Humchekara Mudra, where we'll be placing both the hands upon the sides with the thumb turned inwards, and extend and hold the abdomen long. Now continue with the Pratyahara Kumbhaka and engage your perineum, the Mula Bandha. Gaze forward, and we'll be humming, we'll be having the hum sound repeatedly inside of us. Will not be producing the sound, but it will be chanting the mantra hum continuously inside of us. Here visualize a luminous blue vibration of light energy glowing at your navel, and feel its radiating power through this central channel, its sound scattering all obstacles, and sit as unshakable as a mountain, embodying the Hamkara's fearless presence. Now relax, let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Vairochanasana. This comes from Trulkor. Yoga Chakra Yantro Pakara Nirbhushitam Vairochana Padmasana Vistirna Bandena Prana Vayuraso Vishuddhaha.
Continue to remain seated in Padmasana, and now your hands will be again by your side, next side to your on your abdomen. And now we'll be continuing now with the Kechari Mudra and continue also with the Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, look forward and continue to hum internally. And now visualize yourself seated as the radiant Vairochana, the all-illuminating presence at the center of the Dharma will. Light streams outward from your body in every direction, purifying the winds within and clearing all obscurations. You rest as the unmoving access of luminous awareness, vast, bright and all-embracing. Very good. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next is Jnana Mudrasana, the seat of wisdom. This comes from Shiva Yoga Deepika. Janubhyamado bhumau stapya hridi chinmudram dharayan nabhau padatalam samstapya jnana mudrasanam viduhu.
Now come on to your knees and you'll be sitting, your heels will be on your perineum, and place your hands in the Bindu Mudra, the thumb and the index finger touching, and place your hands on your thigh. Here we'll be performing the Sama Vritti, the Sama Kumbhaka, where you'll be inhaling through the nose and exhaling evenly, maintaining the rhythmic breath without strain. And we'll be engaging all the three bandhas, the Mahamudra Bandha, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, suck your stomach in and up in the Udhyana Bandha, and tuck your chin to your chest in the Jalandhara Bandha. Gaze at the tip of your nose and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize resting in wisdom's seat grounded at your core, rooted yet elevated, embody clarity, insight from inner silence. Like an ancient throne, support yourself with dignity, radiating calm wisdom. Feel its anchor, mind and spirit guiding choices confidently. Relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Kaya Yamagasana, the body union pose. This comes from Terayar Yamagavenva. Mele Uyartiti Mele Uyarti Kile Irakkai Nalik Yella Kuru Kuru.
Very good. Now we'll come seated on the, so raise your knees up and we'll be sitting on our heels, and place your hands forward in front of you, form a fist with your hand. And now we'll be so now we'll be here performing the Shambhavi Mudra. So keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. We'll continue now with the Sama Kumbhaka. Inhale through the nose and exhale evenly, maintaining the rhythmic breath without strain. And lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze forward. Continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And now we'll be here, visualize prana flowing freely through your legs, clearing tightness, dissolving stiffness, and see golden light flushing away the stagnant energy, lubricating and strengthening each connection. Relax. Let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Utkatasana Dve, the intense pose 2. This comes from Yoga Kamika. Pradgushtam Stabhya Daram Gulbhocha Kegatau Tatro Pariguram Nyastam Vidnyayam Utkatasanam.
Yes, so now we'll come back to the same position as the previous asana, and now we'll be resting the hands. Rest the hands on your knees and continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Remember to keep your spine straight and visualize the fierce form of Shiva, Lord Rudra, in your inner space. See yourself steady and grounded. Like Rudra, you embody strength, stability and an unshakable will, transforming effort into blissful strength. Very good. Now relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Vakrasana, the twisted pose. This comes from Yogasana Jaina. Vakrasana.
Okay, good. Now let's start by extending both the legs forward, and now you'll be bringing one leg over the top of the knee. Yes, and place the sole flat on the ground, and now you'll be taking the hand and placing it across the knee and on the ground. The other hand will be behind you, the fingers pointing backward direction. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra. Here we'll be performing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, where you'll be constricting your throat and inhaling, producing the sound of an ocean, and exhaling, producing the sound of an ocean. And lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize sinking into the static squat as energy twists from upper body through the hips and legs, awakening Kundalini muscles and shake not from weakness, but the muscles are shaking not from weakness, but releasing tension to forge strength. You can relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Nithasana, the bench pose. This comes from Sarvajnanottara Yoga Prakarana. Pitam Ardhachandram va Sarvato Bhadrameva cha Asanam Ruchitam Badhva Padmadhyasana Lakshanam Ata Karanam Aha.
Good. Now we'll bring both the legs in the knees raised to the sky, and the soles will be flat on the ground, and hold on to your knees with both the hands. Continue with the Ujjayi Prana Kumbhaka and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze forward and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Envision prana flowing upward through your core, energizing and opening your Anahata Chakra, your heart chakra, and feel your spine lengthening as you lift your chest, embodying stability and expansion. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Bhumi Pada Angushtasana, the grounded big toe pose. This comes from Yogasara Samgraha. Karadvayatalam bhumau putakarena dharayet kinchid anamritattano nischala stira manasa.
Very good. Now let us come to a standing position. And now bend forward and down, and your hands will be flat on the ground. And here you will continue with the Ujjayi Pranayama. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze forward. Continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham and visualize prana flowing freely through your legs, clearing tightness, dissolving stiffness, and see the golden light flushing through you, clearing all the knots and the obstacles inside of you, lubricating and strengthening each connection. Now you can relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Kundaliyasana, the coiled energy pose. This comes from Naradiya Samhita. Kundaliyasana.
Okay, now let us again come to a standing position and clasp your hand behind you. Clasp your hand behind you and continue and open up your chest as well. Open your chest and continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. You will be gazing upward and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Here in the visualization, visualize a luminous spiral of cold energy at your spine's base, dense and vibrant, and then it brightens steadily as slow breath nourishes it without force. Relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Padahastasana, the hand to foot pose. This comes from the Yoga Nirmaya of Sundaradeva. Padahastasanam nama padau hastabhyam sprashed yadat shirasa janudesham sprashed padahastasanam bhavet.
Good. Now come back to a standing position, bend forward and down, and hold on to your toes, and continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of your nose, chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and visualize your spine elongating as you fall forward, releasing tension through your neck and your back, and envision prana flowing downward from the crown, calming the mind and softening the body. Relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Shwana Prasharanasana, Purvanga, the dog stretch pose.
Nithyanandam, and apologies for the technical glitch. Now let us continue with the asana. So come to a standing position and place your hands flat on the ground, and your feet will also be firm on the ground. Raise your hip to the sky here, and continue here with the Ujjayi Pranayama, where you will be slightly contracting your throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean, and retain the breath within and then release it and gaze forward, chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Here visualize yourself as a keen, alert dog, poised with vibrant energy and ready to spring. Very good. Now relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Angushta Mushtikasana, the fist gesture pose. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Kambham dasanamittyahu gorakshasanamev cha angushta mushtikam nyeyam brahma prasadidam tata.
Yes. So now here in this asana, so from a standing position, now you're going to take a wide stance with your front knee bent to 90 degrees. Yes, and your back leg will be straight. Hinge forward to bring your chest just above your front thigh. And now interlace your fingers behind you and extend your arms back and upward. And place your hands actively for an opening stretch. Avoid collapsing your chest. And here visualize prana flowing through your arms and chest, energizing and cleansing. Contemplate courage, ground, power, and the unwavering resolve flowing from your focused, steady, steadfast posture. And here we'll be having a new mudra, which is this is called the Pasha Hasta Mudra, which is basically where we are interlacing the fingers firmly and placing the hands, the palms upon the palm here and raising it up forward to the sky. And we'll continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze downward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax.
The three directional lunge pose. This comes from the Malla Purana, chapter 10, verse 16. Uru sandhidharanam cha tatora preranam param tridha sambhadirohanam dandha gatastateva cha.
Yes, now again come to a standing position in this asana. So now you are going to be stabilizing the knees and engage the thigh joints. So step one leg back into a lunge with the torso upright and extend the back leg straight. Then lift and move it forward, back and to the side in a controlled circular sequence. Yes. Now keep the spine tall, hips aligned and maintain steady balance. Visualize, envision the prana flowing steady through legs and core, awakening inner vitality, and it fuels unyielding strength for stability, fluid mobility and for graceful movement. Here will be now be continuing with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. And you will be gazing forward and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Good. Relax. And now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ekapadasana, the one-legged pose. This comes from the Hatha Siddham Padmam Tata Simham Bhadram Vajram Cha Muktakam Guptam Gomukham Mekam Cha Viram Swastikam Eva Cha.
Now come to a standing position. Yes. And now you are going to be shifting your weight onto one leg. So hinge forward from your hips as you lift your other leg straight back until parallel to the ground, and extend your arms forward in line with your ears, and then you are going to be placing your hands in the Anjali Mudra. Yes, so both your palms together, and now visualize that one leg is arching behind your head, embodying karmic knots, ancient samskaras dissolving into boundless freedom. Feel deep spiritual blockages unravel layer by layer, releasing stored tensions and past imprints. And here we'll be continuing with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, and we'll be engaging the Jarandhara Bandha, where you'll be locking your chin to your chest and you'll be gazing downwards and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next asana is Chandrakantasana, the beloved moon pose. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Ardhanarishwaram chaite vakasana daravahe Chandrakanta sudasaram vyagrasanamiti param.
Good. Now come back to a standing position. Now you will basically start in a deep lunge with your front knee stacked over your ankle and your back knee straight resting on the mat. Yes, so press your front foot as you lift your chest and back. So now reach your arms overhead and extend them slightly behind with your palms together for connection. So your hands will be in Anjali Mudra. So now visualize cool moonlight rising through your spine, filling you with steady and calming energy, and continue with the Ujjayi Pranayama, the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, and gaze, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upward and chant Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. This comes from Tulkhor. Purake padadvayam prasarya hastadvayam vyom ninidhaya rechaketadvasrastvakayam prasarita padadishinamaye.
Okay, very good. Now come back to a standing position. And now you will be placing your feet wide apart and your front foot will be turned forward. Now hinge your hips to lower your front hand towards your ankle while keeping your top arm resting along your side of your body. Now keep your chest open towards the side and place your lower hand slightly for balance. So visualize your whole form as a clear radiant crescent moon and see the curve of the moon as your own shape, calm and steady in the vast sky. Now continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and you will be gazing to the side and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham internally. Now relax. Let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ardha Chandrasana Purvanga, the half moon pose preliminary. This comes from Tulkhor. Hastau Vama Dakshino Yupatayet Dakshina Parshvena Mitva Vyayamam Tatapurnavame Kuryat.
Okay, now come to a standing position again. Come back to a standing position. And now we'll be placing the feet wide apart and your front foot will be pointing forward. Now hinge at your hip to reach your front hand towards your front ankle while extending your top arm now forward in line with your body. So visualize your whole form as a clear radiant crescent moon. See the curve of the moon as your own shape, calm and steady in the vast sky. Continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, the Mula Bandha, gaze to the side and chant internally Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Gajasana 3, elephant pose 2. This comes from the Yoga Sara Samgraha. Janvo Rodvakarau Stapya Stiradeho Bhavedhridam Etad Gajasanam Sarva Vigna Vichedakarakam.
Now come back to a standing position and spread your legs apart. So now you're going to be bending. Yes. So place your hands just above your knees and bend forward slightly while keeping your spine long and your body steady. So press your palms firmly into your thigh for stability, keeping your chest lifted and gaze forward. Visualize yourself as a mighty elephant, steady and grounded in unwavering strength. Envision a calm, powerful energy radiating from deep within, clearing all obstacles before you. And continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Nachiketasana, the eternal fire seeker pose. This comes from Naradiya Samhita. Nachiketasana.
Now come back to a standing position. Yes, and so your feet now will be together and raise your hands above to the sky in the Anjali Mudra, your palms together. Visualize embodying Nachiketa's unique qualities: razor sharp discernment, piercing illusion, fearless resolve, defying death, and selfless wisdom, seeking only eternal truth. Continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and the lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Varahasana Trini, the boar pose 3. This comes from Geranda Samhita. Karatalau bhumau samstapya padagram bhujantare udaram chodvam uttapya varadam idamasanam.
Good. Now come back to a standing position. Now you're going to lean forward and down and place your hands to the ground. Visualize yourself as a steadfast boar, rooted firmly and pushing forward with unwavering power. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra now and the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Let's come to the next asana now.
The next asana is Angushta Mushtikasana Parshvantare, the fist gesture pose repeated on the other side. This comes from Hataratnavali. Kabam dasanamityahoo gorakshasanameva cha angushtamushtikam nyeyam brahmaprasaditam tata.
Good. Now come back to a standing position and you're going to spread your legs wide apart, and now you're going to be forming a fist and bend forward and down to one direction. Yes, and yes. So here you'll be envisioning prana flowing through your arms and the chest, energizing and cleansing. And here we'll be continuing with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze downwards and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. And now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Tridha Stambhadhironasana on the other side, Parshvantare. The directional lunge pose, the pramana comes from Malla Purana. Uru Sandhidara Namcha Tato Preranam Param Tridha Stambhadhirohanam Dandaghatastate Vacha.
Now come back to a standing position. So we'll be repeating this asana in the other side. So now you're going to be engaging the thigh joints. Now step 1, leg back and into a lunge with the torso upright, and extend the back leg straight. Then lift and move it forward, back and to the side in a controlled circular sequence. Now you're going to be keeping the spine tall. Now envision prana flowing steadily through the legs and the core, awakening inner vitality. Continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now we can relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ekapadasana Parshvantare, the one-legged pose. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Siddham Padmam Tata Siddhim Badram Vajram Cha Muktakam Guptam Gomukham Mekam Cha Veeram Swastikam Eva Cha.
Okay, come to a standing position now. Yes. So now you will be lifting, so you're going to be shifting your weight onto one leg and hinge forward from your hips as you lift the other leg straight back until parallel to the ground. Yes, so the other leg, if you're able to, should be pointing to the sky, and your hands will be placed on the ground here, flat. Both the palms will be flat on the ground. So here you'll be placing the hands, yes, forward in Anjali Mudra, and visualize one leg arching behind your head, embodying karmic knots, ancient samskaras dissolving into boundless freedom, and continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and the Jalandhara Bandha, where you'll be locking your chin to the chest and gaze downwards, and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Chandrakantasana, the beloved moon pose. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Ardhana Adishwaram Chaite Bakasana Dvaravahe Chandrakanta Sudhasaram Vyagrasanam Itiparam.
Okay, now let us come back to a standing position. And now you'll be, yes, placing one foot forward, and the other knee of the other foot will be placed on the ground, and extend your hand to the sky in the Anjali Mudra. Now, open up your chest to the sky and continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka here. Visualize cool moonlight rising through your spine, lifting you, filling you with steady, calming energy. Now you're going to lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ardha Chandrasana Parshvantari, the half moon pose repeated. This comes from the Trulkhor. Purake Padadvayam Prasarya Hastadvayam Yom Ninidhaya Rechake Tadvasrastavakayam Prasarita Padadashinamayet.
Okay, very good. So now let's come back again to a standing position. Spread your feet wide apart. Now you're going to be extending one leg to one hand on the ground, and the other leg will be lifted off to above your head. Now visualize your side body forming a tangible crescent moon. Feel cooling prana curve along your ribs, soothing Ida like Soma's nectar. And we'll continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next is Ardha Chandrasana Purvanga Parshvantari, the half moon pose preliminary repeated. This comes from Trulkhor. Hastau Vama Dakshino Yugapat Patayet Dakshina Parshvena Mitva Vyayamam Tata Purna Vame Kuryat. Good.
So now let's come back to the same position as the previous asana here, except that your hands will be the top hand will be by your side, and you will be gazing to the sky. And visualize your side body extending fully, creating a crescent shaped light and space, and vision prana flowing along your rib cage, energizing the heart and the side channels. We'll continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and the Mula Bandha, and yes, we'll be gazing to the side and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax, and now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Parvatasana Virasana Trini, the mountain pose 3. This comes from Yoga Nirmaya of Sundaradeva. Parvatakaramutapya shariram yatra tishtati Parvatasanamityuktam sarvavyadi vinashanam.
Very good. Now come onto your knees. Yes, come to your sit on and your heels will be on your perineum and your hands will be crossed in front of you. And here visualize yourself as a towering mountain, standing tall and immovable. Feel the ancient strength and serene stability that anchors you to the earth, rising above challenges with unwavering resolve. And here we'll now be performing the Samavriti, where you'll be inhaling through the nose and exhale evenly, maintaining the rhythmic breath without strain. And we'll be engaging the Uddiyana Bandha, where you'll be sucking your stomach in and up. And we'll be gazing here, we'll be gazing upwards and we'll be chanting internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Shwana Parasaranasana, Uttaranga, the progression. This comes from Trulkhor. Janu Purve Karau Nidhaya Deham Munnamaya Pataye Kumbhaka Visarghau Shwasaya Saptavaram Samachare.
Yes, very good. Now here we'll come to a standing position to start with, and now we'll be placing the hands firm on the ground and the feet also will be firm on the ground. Now lift your hip to the sky and visualize yourself as a keen alert dog poised with vibrant energy and ready to spring. Envision vitality flowing through your limbs, extending out with effortless stretch like the dog greeting the dawn. So here we'll be performing the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samavriti. Engage your perineum, the Mula Bandha, and gaze straight and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Bhujangasana Dve, the snake pose 2. This comes from Trulkhor. Stiram drishtva samarpya kapolam cha padamapi vakshas pusham virachitam kumbhakartanam shushitam.
Now come flat on the ground, on your belly. Come flat on your belly. Your hands will be by your chest, flat on the ground. Now extend your hands straight. Your hands will be straight and your chest, lifting your chest with alertness and grace. And here we'll continue with the Sama Kumbhaka, and here we'll also be engaging the Bhujangani Mudra, where you'll be opening the mouth wide and subtly draw prana inwards, feeling energy rise like a serpent, and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next asana is Shwana Prasaranasana, the dog stretch pose. Trulkhor, this comes from, it says Sarpakriyayam Stana Bhujoyorapi Bhalamudaret.
Okay, so now again let's place the hands and the feet flat on the ground and raise your hips to the sky. Yes, visualize yourself as a keen, alert dog posed with vibrant energy and ready to spring. And here now we'll be performing the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze downwards and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Let us move to the next asana now.
The next asana is Achalasana, the immovable pose. This comes from Naradiya Samhita. Achalasana.
Yes. So now come to a squatting position. Your feet will be flat on the ground. Yes, and your hands also will be flat on the ground, but here your elbows will be between your thigh and your leg. Yes. So visualize yourself as Achala, the unshakable, eternal presence at creation's core. Embody immovable steadiness amid chaos, unwavering clarity, piercing all flux and profound inner firmness, radiating calm, mastery. And continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze straight and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. And now let us come to the next asana.
The next is Gridhrasana Uttaranga, the vulture pose progression. This comes from Trulkhor. Hasta dridham bhumau nitva kakshayor janani nipadya lankhayet sankocha kumbhakam swashasya saptavaram samcharayet.
Very good. Now place both your hands firmly on the ground, and now you'll be place your hands firmly on the ground and place the knees by the elbows, and you'll be lifting the knees, your legs off the ground. Both the legs will be lifting off the ground. And here visualize yourself as a powerful vulture. Feel your acidic core that cleanses and transforms all impurities, neutralizing what others cannot endure. And here we'll be performing the Vaishnavi Mudra, where you'll be, so hold outer vision steady without blinking while awareness remains inwardly absorbed. And continue with the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is the Ekapadaka Kukkutam, the one-leg bruiser pose. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Panchachali Kukkutam cha Ekapada Kukkutam Akaritam Baddha Chuli Parshva Kukkutam evacha.
Good. Now, so come again, place your hands firmly on the ground, and one knee will be by your elbow and the other leg will be extended straight and lifted off the ground. So here we'll visualize yourself as a proud rooster, radiant with vibrant comb and feathers, governed by an inner clock that awakens you with perfect timing each day. And continue with the Sama Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze forward. Chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And you can also take the help of a partner to help you raise your leg off the ground. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ekapada Kaundinyasana, the one-legged Kaundinya pose. This comes from Nathamani's Yoga Rahasya. Vashishtamata Kaundinyam Modha Kukkutameva cha Ashtavakramadothanam Mayuram Setu Bandhanam Uttanapadam Kronchancha Maricham Veera Badrakam Nadarajam Trikonancha Suptangushta Prasarane.
Okay, good. So now again place both the hands firmly on the ground. Yes. So now you'll be, place your hands firmly on the ground, and then one leg will be forward facing and the other leg will be facing to the side. Yes. Yes. So you can take the help of a partner to help you with this asana. Yes. So visualize yourself as a Kaundinya Maharshi. As Kaundinya Maharishi, embodying luminous intellect and serene devotion. And we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka, and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now let us move on to the next asana. The next asana is Bhujangasana Dve Purvanga, the snake pose 2 preliminary.
This comes from Trulkhor. Abhyase chiddaraya stambhan janghaya padayo aroha shushtastasya tve chaiva urdvam tishtantyapi yavat padanguli prapataha.
Okay, so now come flat on your belly. Come flat on your belly and your hands will be by your side, and extend your hands and lift your chest off the ground and visualize yourself as a poised cobra, lifting your chest with alertness and grace. And here we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, and here we'll be gazing we'll be gazing upwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Now relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Ekapada Kukkutasana on the other side, Parshvantare, the one-legged rooster pose. Panchachuli kukkutam cha ekapada kukkutam akaritam baddachuli parshva kukkutam eva cha.
Okay, yes. So now place both your hands firmly on the ground, and you will have one leg extended behind you and the other knee, one knee will be on your elbow, and the other leg will be extended straight behind you and off the ground. So visualize yourself as a proud rooster, radiating and with vibrant kum and feathers, governed by inner clock. And continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Ekapada Kukkutam, the one-legged rooster pose from Hatharatnavali. Panchachuli kukkutam cha ekapada kukkutam akaritam baddachuli parshva kukkutam eva cha.
Okay, so now again place your hands firmly on the ground, and you'll be having now the one leg, which will be, the one knee will be resting on your elbow, and the other leg will be extended behind you straight and off the ground. Again, visualize yourself as a proud rooster, radiant with vibrant kum and feathers, and continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Okay, now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Advasana. This is the reversed corpse pose. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Advasanam nama udhare shayanastila sarvangam pranam nabhistale dharayed ityahurmani shinaya.
Now lie down completely flat on your belly and extend your hands forward in front of you in the Anjali Mudra, where both your palms will be touching each other. So now we'll also be performing the Shakti Chalana Mudra. Awaken the base energy with steady intent, drawing prana upward through the spine. We'll be continuing with the Sama Kumbhaka. The Sama Kumbhaka. Visualize your body as completely dead, physically sinking into an eternal deep ease, and see your consciousness, yourself as outside of your body, everlasting, and contemplate death of the body with consciousness living on. Surrender your body and feel a serene presence embracing your whole being, and continue with the Sama Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now come up and let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Bhujangasana Uttaranga, the snake pose 2 progression. This comes from the Trulkhor. Hastadvayam parshvayoho स्थापयित्वा धनुरेव कुब्जयेत् प्रणस्य निरोधविसर्गौ सप्तवर्णं समाचरेत्.
Okay, so lie down again now, flat on your belly and your hands by your chest, flat on the ground, and straighten your hands, lift your chest off the ground, and visualize yourself as a poised cobra, lifting your chest with alertness and grace. So now you'll try to lift your chest even further up, and we'll be performing the Bhujangani Mudra. Open your mouth wide and subtly draw prana inward, feeling energy rise like a serpent. And we'll continue with the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze upward. You'll be gazing upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Dridrasana Dve. This is the stable pose 2. This comes from the Hatha Ratnavali. Vichitram nalinam kantam shuddhapakshi su mandakam chaurangi chatata kroncham driddasana kaghasane.
Good. Now you're going to be lying down on one side. Lie down on one side and place your elbow will be on the ground and your hand on your ears, and the above hand will be on the side of your body. Visualize yourself blessed by your Guru, becoming completely powerful and deeply grounded, cradled by earth. You are eternally stable on this planet. Contemplate stability, restful ease and quiet centeredness, nurturing your stillness. And we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and you'll be gazing to the side, and again continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now come back and we'll move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Uttanapadasana, the raised leg pose. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva, chapter 3. Uttanapadam nama prishte shayanam padamodhvam prasarya drishtim nasagre nidaya pranam sambhyaset.
Okay, so now lie down flat on the ground on your back, and your hands will be by your side, and lift your legs up. Your legs will be pointing to the sky, and visualize a steady flow of nourishing energy from your feet back towards your heart. See your core strengthening, digestion awakening, and blood circulating freely through your body. Contemplate rejuvenation, balance, and calm settling deeply within and harmonizing your body and your mind. And we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and we'll be gazing upwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ekapada Pavana Muktasana. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Ekapada Pavana Muktasanam Nama Ekam Janu Udara Samipam Nitva Hastabhyam Badvadu Pavanam Munchati Dhruvam.
Okay, so lie down on your back. Yes, and lift your legs will be straight in front of you, and lift one knee to your chest and hold on to the knee with both your hands. Imagine a steady inner fire dissolving stagnation to restore digestive flow and clarity. And we'll here be performing engaging Diparashu Mudra, where you'll be interlacing your fingers and holding on to the knee that is close to your chest. And we'll continue with the Sama Kumbhaka, and we'll be engaging the Jarandhara Bandha. Lock your chin to your chest and gaze upward. Chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So make sure that you are interlocking your fingers. Good. Relax. And now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ekapada Pavana Muktasana on the other side. The single legged pose on the other side. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Ekapada Pavana Muktasanam Nama Ekam Jano Udara Samipya Nitva Hastabhyam Badvatu Pavanam Munchati Dhruvam.
Good. So come back to the same asana as previous one on the other side and interlace your fingers, and again visualize a steady inner fire dissolving stagnation to restore digestive flow and clarity. Physical pressure and transforms into spinal space, and hip liberation, washing away heaviness to leave behind a profound sense of lightness. And we'll continue with the Sama Kumbhaka, the Jalandhara Bandha. Tuck your chin to your chest, gaze upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Kamapithasana, the seat of love. This comes from the Sri Tattvanidhi. Shayanam Prati Prishte Hastau Padayor Nivyasya Prishtam Kote Jayat Kamapithasanam Katyate.
Okay, good. So now again lie down flat on the ground on your back, and we'll be raising one knee to the chest and hold on to the knee. You will not be interlocking your fingers this time. Just hold on to your knee and visualize an inner glow or radiant light emanating from the heart region, expanding gently through the chest and along the spine, awakening subtle energies of affection and warmth. And we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze upward and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. And now let's go to the next asana.
The next is Drida Uttolanasana. This comes from Trulkhor. Dharayitva prishtam vistarya chibukam dridham uttolayet.
So here lie down on your back and place your hands behind your head. Yes, place your hands behind your head. You're not interlocking your fingers here, and lift your chest and your legs off the ground. Try to keep your legs straight and visualize yourself blessed by the Guru. Feel powerfulness, strength and stability radiating through you. Feel strength in your core as you maintain steady, unwavering support and contemplate centered power, equilibrium and balance. Now continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Let us now move to the next asana.
The next asana is Setu Uttolanasana. This comes from Trulkhor. Shighram Apudya Shwasam Hanum Nipidya Katim Uttolayet.
Okay, so now here we'll be placing the feet flat on the ground, and we'll be placing the hands, the fingers will be on the ground, firm on the ground. So the palm will not be on the ground this time, the fingers will be on the ground. So the back of your fingers will be firm on the ground, feet flat on the ground, and now you're going to be lifting your body up. Visualize yourself as a sturdy and stable bridge, your feet and hands firmly rooted, and your back and your hip rise strong and steady. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Here we'll be engaging the Jalandhara Bandha, where you'll be tucking your chin to your chest and gaze straight and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next is the Hasta Chatushkonasana. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Hasta चतुष्कोणासनं नाम पादहस्तौ समं स्थापयित्वा शरीरं चतुष्कोणवत् स्थापयेत् इत्युच्यते.
Okay, so now come onto your knees. Your leg will be flat on the ground, your hands, your palms flat on the ground. Visualize your body strong and steady, and an unshakable frame representing your sturdy and powerful inner space, and feel intense engagement and activation in your core, radiating strength through your arms and your shoulders. Now you'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze straight and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax, and now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Vyagrasana, the tiger pose, the dynamic. It's a dynamic asana. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Bhagrasanam nama karatala janubhyam bhumim sprushan padamakenodvam kritva vyagravat vijrimbhet.
Okay, so now come onto your knees and lift one knee off the ground. Yes, lift one knee off the ground and visualize yourself as a majestic lion, radiate strength and regal authority. Feel the courage and fearlessness of a powerful leader flowing through your being. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra. And continue with the Shambhavi Mudra. Here we'll be performing the Antarangaka Kumbhaka, where we'll be quickly and forcefully inhaling through the nose. Hold on to the breath for a short while and then slowly release through the nostril. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze upward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax, and now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Vyagrasana, Advaita Tiger Pose 2. This is a static pose. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Ardhana Arishwaram Chaite Bakasana Dvaravahe Chandrakanta Shuddhasaram Vyagrasanamiti Param.
Okay, so now come back to the same position as the previous asana, except that now here will not be moving the knee back and forth. We'll just be keeping the knee, the feet pointing to the sky, and visualize yourself as a majestic lion, radiate strength and regal authority, and will continue to perform the Shambhavi Mudra, the Antarangaka Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
This is now the next asana is Vyagrasana Parshvantare, the tiger pose repeated. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Bhagrasanam nama karatala janubhyam bhumim sprishnan padamekam udvam kritva vyagravat vijrimbhet.
Okay, so now again we'll come onto our knees. Now with the other foot we'll be bringing it back and forth to the chest and pointing to the sky, and this is a dynamic pose. So visualize yourself as a majestic lion, and we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Antarangaka Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Vyagrasana Parshvantare, the tiger pose 2 is a static version repeated. This comes from Hatharatnavali. Ardhana Arishwaram Chaite Bhakhasana Dharavahe Chandrakanta Sudasaram Vyagrasanamiti Param.
Okay, so now again come onto your knees and point one foot to the sky. One knee will be raised, and keep this position and visualize yourself as a majestic lion, and continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Antarangaka Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Very good, relax. Now let's move on.
The next asana is Ushtrasana Purvanga, the camel pose 3, the preliminary. Trill Khor, Vegotaya Janvopari, Pravishya Hasto Shiro Bhagam Prishtatha Pralambhya Purayet, Vishrata Kumbhakasya Saptabedayam Krama.
Good. Now come on to your knees. Place your hands by your hips, on your hips, and visualize yourself. So lean, open up your chest, lean backwards, gaze to the sky, upward, and visualize yourself as a docile, intelligent, resilient camel thriving in harsh extremes, and see body temperatures rise and fall with the sun, guarding hydration, and sense your kidneys and blood routing water efficiently, and contemplate patience, endurance, and unwavering strength. Embody its quiet wisdom, storing vitality for the longest journeys. Here we'll be performing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, where you'll be slightly contracting the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostril, producing the sound of an ocean, and exhale through your nose again. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Very good. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Ushtrasana, the camel pose 3. This comes from Trill Khor. Langha Dridapad Karangushta Samyogam Purna Parshve Katauni Hatya Skanda Vakshasa Prerayet Pito Parinata Griva Ushtravat Acharet Praveshna Stanani Sapta Samasana Yojayet.
Okay, so now come back to the same position as the previous asana, except now here we'll be holding on to the feet, to the respective feet, and visualize yourself as a docile, intelligent, resilient camel thriving in harsh extremes. See body temperatures adapt with the sun, guarding hydration, and sense the kidneys recycling water efficiently. Contemplate patience, endurance, and unwavering strength. Embody its calm mastery over life's deserts. So now we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ushtrasana Uttaranga, the camel pose 3, the progression. This comes from Trill Khor. Vegotaya Janvopari Stitva Odvakayam Samumaya Karatala Padatare Chatushtayam Samyojayet Prasaritam Prerayirva Shaktim Sanchalayet.
Okay, now come back to the same position as the previous asana. And try to go deeper into this asana. Try to bend your back deeper backwards and visualize yourself again as a docile, intelligent, resilient camel thriving in harsh extremes. And continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra, Mula Bandha, gaze upward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham internally. Good, relax. Now let's go to the next asana. The next asana is Shashasana Dve, the rabbit pose 2.
This comes from the Shri Tattvanidhi. Gajasanastite Janghanugata Punah Punah Vakran Esha Shashasanam Bhavati.
Yes. So now here this is a dynamic asana where now start by coming to a plank position. feet and palms flat on the ground. Now raise your raise your hips up to the sky and come back, yes, and jump to the front and back again. So visualize embodying the rabbit's electric alertness and agility, quick, light, responsive, bursting with untamed energy. We'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra. Here we'll be performing the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Just breathe in and out normally through your nose. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and you'll be gazing straight. And again continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us go to the next asana.
The next is Chaturangiyasana, the four-limbed pose. This comes from the Hatha Ratnavali. Vichitram nalinam kantam shuddha pakshi sumandakam chaurangi chatata krauncham dridhasana kaghasane brahmasanam nagapitam antim cha shavasanam evam militva chatura Shityashanani.
Okay, so now come to a plank position. Your hands flat on the ground, your toes pointing to the ground. Yes. Visualize your body strong and stable, rooted in unshakable power. Contemplate empowered stability, forging deeper resilience. Full body integration, harmonizing every fiber and an inner discipline radiating fiercely. And we'll continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Asha Varisana. This comes from the Yoga Chintamani. Madhyadandam Tiryaghyasta Gatram Kashtam cha Yoginam Ashavariti Vikyatam Asanalam Vitadviduhu.
Okay, so now place one hand flat on the ground and bring your body to the side, and the other hand will be on your hip. Yes, so visualize yourself as a solid, unwavering log, balanced on your side, and your core ignites with deep strength. Your arms and shoulders, shoulder muscles steady and supporting with the beneath you. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra. Gaze to the side and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Ashavarisana, Parshvantare, the bench pose on the other side. This comes from the Yoga Chintamani. Madhyadandam Tiryagyastagram Kashtam cha Yoginam Ashavarita Vikyatham Asanalam Vitadviduhu.
Good. Okay, now so we'll be repeating this asana on the other side. So place the other hand now, the other elbow now flat on the ground, and lift your body to the side. Again, visualize yourself as a stable, solid, unwavering log balanced on your side. So we'll continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze forward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next is Hamsasana, the swan pose. This comes from the Hatha Ratnavali. Vichitram nalinam kantam shuddha pakshi sumandakam chaurangi chatata krauncham dridhasana khagasane brahmasanam nagapitam antim cha shavasanam evam militva chatur sityasanani.
Good. Now we'll be placing the hands flat on the ground. Your elbows will be by your navel, and we'll be lifting both the legs off the ground. Your legs will be straight and lift both the legs off the ground. So visualize yourself as an elegant, graceful swan, serene in beauty. You glide effortlessly through life while paddling vigorously underneath the surface in hard effort. So you can also take the help of a partner to help you lift your legs off the ground. Here we'll be continuing with the Shambhavi Mudra. Continue with this the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Just breathe in and out normally. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze straight. Chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. So now let's move to the next asana.
The next asana is Akarita Kukkutasana, the formed rooster pose. This comes from the Hatharatnavali. Panchacholi kukkutam cha ekapada kukkutam akaritam bandha choli parshva kukkutam eva cha.
Good. So now we'll again be coming to the same position, balancing on the palms. Make sure that the fingers are pointing towards the feet, and the elbows will be by the navel. And here, except the feet will not be straight. We'll be placing the soles together, and then so the soles will be together here. Yes. So try to lift the legs off the ground with the soles together. And again, you can take the help of a partner to help you keep the legs lifted off. And visualize yourself as a proud rooster, radiant with vibrant comb and feathers, governed by inner clock that awakens you with perfect timing each day. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Gaze downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Mayurasana 3, the peacock pose 3. This comes from Trulkhor. Langha drida kara yugmam janbhabi mukam nakagrai prastapya kurchadvayam nabhi pradeshe dhridam bhumau niveshaya.
Very good. Now again we'll come back to the same asana as before. Your hands flat on the ground, fingers pointing to the feet, and now extend both the legs. The elbows will be on your navel and extend both the legs behind you. Visualize yourself as a radiant, proud peacock. Your vibrant plumage shimmers with every color of the rainbow, symbolizing beauty, confidence, and the courage to express your unique brilliance. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham internally. Now relax. Let's go to the next asana.
Next is Advasana Dve, the reversed corpse pose. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Advasana.
Good. Now lie down completely flat on your belly, and your hands will be by your chest. Sorry, your hands will be by your navel. And visualize your body as a lifeless form resting on the earth. So place your forehead on the ground. So no effort, no need to move, nothing to protect. Sense awareness standing apart from your body, clear and untouched, simply witnessing breath rise and fall on its own. Let your identity loosen as the body remains still, and allow consciousness to rest vast, quietly and beyond disturbance. And continue with this Shambhavi Mudra. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, and continue with this Sahaja Kumbhaka as well. Gaze downwards and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Shalabhasana Dve. This comes the locust pose 2. This comes from Trulkhor. Ado mukham shayitya chibukam bhumau nibaddham करतलद्वयं भूमौ निधाय स्थैर्यं आयत्.
Good. Now lie down flat on the ground, on your belly. Hands will be by the side, palms flat facing down on the ground. Here we'll be lifting the feet off the ground. So no need to lift off the chest, only lift the feet off the ground. And again, you can take the help of a partner to help you lift it as high as you can. So visualize yourself as a resilient, adaptive locust. Alone, you are patient and grounded, but when you join others in unity, your energy transforms into unstoppable movement and collective power. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra. Now we'll be here performing the Samana Kumbhaka, where you will be inhaling deeply, visualizing heat, flames rising up along your spine, and engage your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of your nose and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now you can relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next is the Dvikakudasanam. This is from the Yogasana Jaina. Dvikakudasanam.
Okay. Now again, lie down on your belly and bring your feet towards you. Hold on to your respective feet. Press your feet down and visualize the two humps of a camel, stored reserves enabling calm, confident travel through vast deserts without panic. And we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, and again the Samana Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze straight and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Dhanu Asana Chaturya Purvanga. The bow pose for preliminary. This comes from Trilkhor. Karadvayam Viparitam Gulpadvayam Dridam Gritva Purnashvase Dolnena Kayam Sanchelayet Vyayamam Kuryat.
Good. So now lie down flat on the ground and lift your feet up. Hold on to your respective foot and lift your chest off the ground as well. And visualize yourself as a powerful, full drawn bow drawn by Paramashiva himself, ready to launch in this dynamic state. Embody tension and potential energy, steady and strong, poised for purposeful action. And continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. You'll be gazing upwards and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Dhanurasana, the bow pose 4. This comes from Trilkhor. Adho Mukhashayanam Hastadvayam Prishta Prasarya Jankho Kutilayo Prishta Ghulpadvayam Dridam Gritva Purna Kumbhake.
Okay, so now come back to the same position as the previous one. Here we'll be trying to curve the back, pull your feet closer to your more upwards for a deeper bend in the back, and visualize yourself as a powerful, full drawn bow drawn by Paramashiva himself. The Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upwards and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Dhanurasana Uttaranga, the bow pose 4 progression. This comes from Trilkhor. Kakamarge Nitta Hastam Karapadangushta Yogitam Purna Shavisargau Saptadishadayet Dridam.
Okay. Now come back to the same position, and now we'll try to lift the chest off the ground, the legs off the ground. Now try to pull the legs further towards the head for a deeper bend. Again, visualize yourself as a powerful full drawn bow drawn by Paramashiva himself and ready to launch. Continue to engage the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze upwards. Chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Let's now move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Vajras Chalanasana, the thunderbolt pose, the thunderbolt agitation pose. This comes from the Yoga Karnika. Vajras Chalan Nasanam Nama Vajra Nastanabhim Chalyan Apanam Odhram Nayati Vajra.
On your knees. Knees will be on the ground and sit on your heels, perineum to the heels. Place your hands flat, palms flat on your knees, and visualize yourself as a fierce and brilliant thunderbolt, a flash of divine power, unstoppable force. And continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Remain in the same position. Now we'll move on to the next asana.
The next is Hastanguli Baddhasanam, the bound finger pose. This comes from Sri Tattvanidhi. Hastad Vyayasya Anguli Bhadva Sarvadeham Bahumadye Nishkashya Vimardhanam Hastanguli Bhaddhasanam Idam Baddanguli Namadhyekam.
Okay. So now we'll remain seated in the same position. Now bring your hands behind you, clasp your hands. So bind the fingers of the both hands together behind your back. Now you're going to be threading your body gently through your arm and creating a ringing motion by squeezing and releasing the torso. So keep the shoulders engaged and open and maintain a steady breath and core stability. Now you're going to visualize stagnant tamasic energy being released from the tips of your fingers all the way through your chest, and see this ringing motion inducing prana and vitality through your upper body. And we'll continue with the Samana Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Chathurtiya, the red vaulted lapwing. This comes from Sri Tattvanidhi. Kakasanam grihya urunam pinjaryoshan.
So now here it is, this is an inverted asana. For women who are in their menstrual cycle, please do not attempt this asana. And again, if you're not confident to do this asana, please do not attempt this asana. Do not hurt yourself. And here now we'll be standing on the hands, but the legs, the feet will be towards the head. Yes, as you can see here. So visualize yourself as a vigilant red wattled lap wing, thighs and calves united as your raised back symbolizes alertness and poised readiness. So imagine your energy balanced between grounded stability and sudden elevation, embodying sharp responsiveness and focused awareness. And feel your inner balance grow as you stay rooted yet energetically elevated. And in this asana, you will continue to perform the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka, and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. You will be gazing forward straight and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Yes, so if you have a partner, you can take the help of a partner to help you with this asana. So the partner will be standing in front of you or by your side. You can also take the help of a wall with this asana. Very good. Now relax. Let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana, Shalabhasana Purvanga, the locust pose 3 preliminary. This comes from Trulkhor. Janu talabujatale karatalai bhumau dhidam nidaya udvahya padadvayam prishtam danuriva vyajayet.
Okay, so this asana again is an inverted asana. Again, if you're not confident and you're by yourself, please do not attempt this asana. So now we'll be balancing on the elbows and the feet will be pointing to the sky, as you can see here. And visualize yourself as a resilient, adaptive locust. Alone, you are patient and grounded, but when you join others in unity, your energy transforms into unstoppable movement and collective power. You embody endurance, swift adaptability, and the ability to rise and traverse great distances with purpose. And feel this dynamic strength within, ready to propel you forward through change and challenge with focused determination. And if you're not able to maintain this position, you can also try to start kicking your leg towards your head and continue with this Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Look downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Vrishtikasana Dve. This comes from the Scorpion pose 2. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya. The Vrishtikaasanam Nama Shirshas Stahi Padau Prishtata Shirasi Namayitva Vrishtikavad Vrujam Bhavet.
Good. Now again we'll be balancing on our elbows and we'll be bringing the legs to the feet. Now it is a deeper bend. Now you'll try to place your feet on your legs. Yes, so visualize yourself as a fierce, resilient scorpion. Your highly flexible and segmented tail is your spine, able to bend, twist and strike with precise control in many directions. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka, and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Dardharasana. This comes from the Malla Purana. This is the hair pose. Karuma asanamapi shreshtam Dardhurasanam uchyate gajasanam samuddishtam tato Ruddhasanam uchyate.
Good. So now we'll be coming. Yes. So in this asana, we'll start by kneeling with our knees spread wide apart. Yeah, so start by kneeling with the knees wide apart and your forearms resting on the ground in front of you. Okay? And your palms will be down, flat on the ground, and allow your hips to stay lifted above your heel rather than sitting back fully, and gently lower your torso between your thigh, lengthening your spine forward and relaxing your neck. So keep your shoulders soft and away from your ears. So visualize the qualities of a rabbit: lightness, alertness and agility. Feel your body lengthen and your spine stretch gently, inviting a sense of playful energy and quick responsiveness. And embody the rabbit's ability to stay relaxed yet ready, and cultivating both calmness and attentive awareness. We'll continue here with the Samana Kumbhaka, the Mula Bandha. Gaze downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. And here we have a new mudra, which is the Manduki Mudra. So you'll be closing your mouth and subtly move the tongue root, savoring inner nectar. Good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Swalikasana, the gecko pose. This comes from the Matsyendra Samhita. This Dakshapadam cha Vamurumule Vinyasa Tatpadam Dakshorumula Pidhartam Kalped Sudridhasanam Bahu Yugmam Samustrijya Svalikasanam Miritam Sarva Siddhipradam Devi Sarvaroga Vinashanam.
Yes. So now in this asana we'll be having one leg flat on the ground. So basically we'll be placing the hands on the ground. The forearm will be on the ground in front of you and you're going to lean forward slightly. So you're going to be stepping your right foot outside the corresponding forearm. Yes. And grounding the sole firmly while extending the left leg back. So your knee will be resting, the left knee will be resting lightly on the floor, and lower your forearms to the ground for support. Keep your pelvic low and your spine elongated, and visualize yourself low to the ground like a gecko, body close and alert. Feel the primal wisdom of grounded vigilance ripple through your body, awakening strength, flexibility and natural flow. And we'll continue to perform the Shambhavi Mudra, which is keep your eyes closed and steady, gazing outwards while awareness rests deeply within. And continue with the Samana Kumbhaka. Breathe in deeply and visualize the heat, the flames rising up along your spine. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze downwards and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. And now let's move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Swalikasana Parshvantare, the gecko pose on the other side. This comes from the Matsyendra Samhita. Dakshapadam cha Vamurumule Vinyasa Tatpadam Dakshorumula Pidhartam Kalpayed Sudhridasanam Bahu Yugmam Bahuyugmam Samutsrijya Svalikasanamritam Sarva Siddhipradam Devi Sarvaroga Vinashanam.
So now we'll be performing the same asana on the other side. So this time you'll be bringing the other foot forward in front of you, outside of the respective forearm, and the other leg will be straight but with the knee placed on the ground. Yes, so visualize yourself low to the ground like a gecko, body close and alert. And we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Samana Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let's move on to the next asana.
The next is Vyagrasana Purvanga, the tiger pose preliminary. This comes from the Trilkhor. Murdhanam bhumau nihatya sankochaka kumbhakam sammacharet.
Good. Now place both your hands and both your feet flat on the ground and raise your hip towards the sky. Yes. And visualize yourself as a powerful, stealthy tiger roaming the jungle. Your muscular body moves with fluid strength and silent precision. You embody fierce independence, fearless courage and sharp focus as you navigate your territory with graceful confidence. And feel your inner power is awakening, the strength to face challenges boldly and the patience to wait for the perfect moment and the primal energy that commands respect and balance. We'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sahaja Kumbhaka, where you'll just be breathing in and out normally through your nose, and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha. Gaze downwards and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Vyagrasana, the tiger pose. This comes from the Trul Khor. Dvichedoti tapadatala karatalai stira ardhakumbha samaptau shiraprishtam prasarya pratolya.
Very good. Now again we'll be placing both the feet and both the palms flat on the ground, and we'll slightly be lifting the hips up. Now visualize yourself as a powerful, stealthy tiger roaming the jungle. Your muscular body moves with fluid strength and silent precision, and you embody fierce independence, fearless courage and sharp focus as you navigate your territory with graceful confidence. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Vyagrasana Uttaranga, the tiger pose progression. This comes from the Trul Khor. Sthana Prishtam Vyajya Urdhvangri Purasad Prasarya.
Okay, so now we'll be coming to the same position as the last asana. Now here we'll be lifting the heels off the ground, so you'll be on the toes for a deeper for going deeper into this asana. And again visualize yourself as a powerful tiger, stealthy tiger roaming the jungle, and we'll continue to perform the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sahaja Kumbhaka, the lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Chakrasana Trini Purvanga, the wheel pose 3 preliminary. This comes from Trul Khor. Chakrang Hryuttolya Shirase Dhridatya Nidhaya Vahadvaye Nihatyangam Vyamamam Sammacharet.
Okay, good. So now here we'll be standing on our hands, palms flat on the ground. Again, if you're by yourself and you're not confident about doing it yourself, please do not attempt, do not hurt yourself. If you have a partner, you can take the help of a partner to help you keep your legs straight. So here you'll be visualizing yourself as a vibrant wheel of spinning energy, radiating light and power from within, and like a chakra, you are a dynamic center of life force, constantly turning, balancing and harmonizing energy throughout your entire being. And this will pulses with your breath, cleansing blockages and opening pathways for strength, clarity and flow. And feel this energy spinning freely inside you, aligning mind, body and spirit in perfect radiant harmony. Yes, and we'll continue to perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra, the Mula Bandha. We'll be gazing downwards and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Okay, yes, very good. Now let us relax and move on to the next asana, which is going to be also an inverted asana.
The next asana is Shalabhasana Trini, the locust pose 3 progression. This comes from Trul Khor. Bhujadvayam prasarya shirapado prishtagre cha vikshipet purna swashavisarghau saptadha kritva dhairyena tishtet.
Okay, good. So now again come onto your hands, stand on your hands, and this time your legs will be bending slightly towards your head. Visualize yourself as a fierce, resilient scorpion. Your highly flexible and segmented tail is your spine, able to bend, twist and strike with precise control in many directions. And with your strong, steady claws, you grasp and hold life confidently, and you embody transformation, fierce protection and the graceful adaptability to respond to life's challenges with focused power and quiet confidence. And feel this potent energy flowing within you, guiding your courage and wisdom. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sahaja Kumbhaka, the Mula Bandha. Look forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now let us go to the next asana.
The next asana is Guptasana Advaya, the hidden pose 2. This comes from Hadaratnavali. सिद्धं पदं तथा सिंहं भद्रं वज्रं च मुक्तकं गुप्तं गोमुखम् एकं च वीरं स्वस्तिकमेव च.
Okay, good. So now here we'll come seated. We'll be seated here. So we'll be on the knees with the feet will be crossed over each other and pressing flat on the floor. So we'll be sitting with the perineum gently on the heels. So place the hands comfortably on the thighs and lengthen your spine, keeping it tall and vertical, and drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. So visualize yourself quietly drawing into your inner sanctuary, protected from the outside world. Still and sheltered, you become attuned to the subtle energies within, embracing introspection, mystery, and the power of the unseen. And we'll continue here. We'll be placing the hands in the Bindu Mudra, so the thumb and the index finger will be touching, and place the hand on the knees. And we'll be also be performing the Kevala Kumbhaka, where you'll allow the breath to pause naturally, observe without forcing, maintain relaxed awareness, and let normal breathing resume. And we'll performing the Uddiyana Bandha, so suck your stomach in and up. And we'll also be maintaining the Mula Bandhas, so we'll be locking the perineum, and gaze forward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good, relax, and now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Mandukasanam Pancha. This comes from the Yoga Karnika. This is the frog pose 5. Parshvayo Prishtadese Changashte Dve Samsprishe Janu Yugmam Puraskritya Sadayet Mandukasanam.
Okay, so we'll remain in the same position as the previous asana, except now here we'll be placing the hands on the hips, and visualize yourself as a calm, grounded frog sitting peacefully at the water's edge. Still and observant, you embody patience and quiet awareness, fully present in the moment, and your body gently connects with the earth and water, drawing strength from both realms in perfect harmony. And like a frog's gentle presence, you nurture deep inner calm and steadiness, poised to respond with clarity and balance whenever life calls you to move. And here we'll also be performing, engaging the Manduki Mudra. So close your mouth and subtly move the tongue root, savoring inner nectar. We'll also be continuing to perform the Kevala Kumbhaka, the Mula Bandha, lock your perineum, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next asana is Uttana Mandukasana, the frog pose 2. This is from the Yoga Karnika. Mandukasana Madhyastam Purparabhyam Ritam Shiraha Sete Bekavaduttanam Ekaduttan Mandukam.
Okay, so now we are going to lie down on the back, and the legs will be by the side. So you'll be, yes, so the legs will be by your hips, and your hands will be behind your head. Yes, and visualize yourself as a reclining frog resting in deep surrender and ease. Your body stretches open, fully supported by the earth as you embody relaxation and trust in the present movement. So your limbs are relaxed but steady. You blend stillness with subtle readiness, restoring energy without tension, and feel this gentle openness within, a harmony of softness and quiet resilience that allows both deep release and calm, steady strength. And we'll continue with the Manduki Mudra, where you'll be closing your mouth and you'll subtly move the tongue root, savoring the inner nectar. Continue with the Kevala Kumbhaka, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze upward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax, and now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Paryankasana Dve. This is the royal couch pose 2. This comes from the Yoga Sara Sangraha. Oru Yugmam Moola Pithartam Jangecha Asilyasya Parvati Padayugmam Paschimam Yasya Paryankam Dridam Tanam.
Okay, good. So come back to the same position as the previous asana, except here now your hands will be extended behind you above your head, and visualize yourself as a sacred couch, the throne of Parvati's, Devi Parvati's, the mountain goddess, and grounded in deep stability you offer a firm seat of calm and resilience, a sanctuary where strength and softness coexist in perfect harmony. And like Devi Parvati, you are both a steadfast protector and a gentle nurturer, radiating quiet power and unwavering grace. And feel this sacred balance within you, a foundation of serene endurance and profound inner peace. And we'll continue now with the Shambhavi Mudra. So keep your eyes open and steady and gazing outwards while awareness rests deeply within. We'll continue with the Kechari Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, and we will be gazing upwards and we'll be chanting internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. Relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Ananda Mandirasana Dve, the temple of bliss pose 2. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Ananda Mandirasana.
Okay, very good. Now we'll come to our knees. The knees will be little wide apart, and we'll be holding on to the feet behind us. Hold on to the respective feet and visualize yourself as a living temple of bliss. Your body, the structure, your spine, the central pillar, your chest, the inner sanctum, and feel a quiet self-generated joy, feeling the space from within, not excited or outward, but stable and complete on its own. Rest in the knowing that bliss is housed inside you, supported, balanced, and always accessible. Now we'll continue to perform the Shambhavi Mudra. We have a new pranayama here, which is the Kriti Shrestha Kumbhaka. So draw the breath upward from your navel to the heart, and then you're going to be performing the Udhyana Bandha, where you'll be sucking your stomach in and up. We'll also be applying the Jalandhara Bandha firmly. Lock your chin to your chest, and we'll be locking the perineum. We'll be retaining the breath along the lunar path, and we'll be locking the perineum in the Mula Bandha. And gaze at the tip of your, gaze at your third eye, and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Sankochasana, the contraction pose. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Sankochasana.
Okay, so we'll maintain this same asana as the previous one. We'll maintain the same position. Now you are going to visualize that all the scattered energy is being drawn inwards, as if loose threads are being gathered into one strong cord at your center. Feel distractions, excess movement, and emotional noise contract into quiet strength and control. Rest in the quality of Sankocha, intentional containment, where power is conserved, focus sharpens, and stability comes from holding yourself together rather than expanding outwards. And we'll continue to perform the Shambhavi Mudra. Again, we'll continue with the Kriti Shrestha Kumbhaka, and we'll continue to engage all the three bandhas, the Mahamudra Bandha, where you'll be locking your perineum in the Mula Bandha, suck your stomach in and up in the Udhyana Bandha, and tuck your chin to your chest in the Jalandhara Bandha, and gaze at the tip of your nose and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Now the next asana is Vayu Bandhasana, the air seal pose.
This comes from the Goraksha Pattati. Padau nitam vasammipe nyasau janubhyam avastabhya pranamnabhau niyamya vayubhanda siddhidayaka.
Okay, so now remain seated with your knees on the ground, and now you'll be the legs will be by your side, so the heels will be by your hips, and you'll be placing your hands flat on the thighs. So visualize yourself embodying the gentle flow and limitless movement of the wind. With each breath you invite openness, lightness and adaptability, feeling the air element activate within your body and your mind. So we'll continue now here with the Kriti Shrishta Kumbhaka and the Mahamudra Bandha, where we'll be engaging all the three bandhas again. Look forward, chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. And here actually you'll be placing your hands in the Bindu Mudra, so you'll be your thumbs and your index finger will be touching and placing your hand on the knee. Very good, relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is the Nagendrasana, the serpent king pose. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Nagendrasana.
Okay, so now come onto your knees. You're going to be standing on your knees and your feet will be straight back, and place your hands in the Anjali Mudra in front of you in the Namaskara Mudra. We'll continue with the Kriti Shrishta Kumbhaka and visualize the serpent king upright, alert and completely still. Make sure that your spine is straight, your chest facing forward, and visualize that you are completely still, covering power without aggression. Feel awareness rise smoothly through the spine like a cobra, poised and ready, calm yet capable of instant response. Rest in that controlled strength and dignity, where balance, vigilance and inner authority remain steady without tension. Now continue with the Kriti Shrishta Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good, relax. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Deva Guru Vandanasana, the adorning Guru pose. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Pada grajanubhyam bhumo stitva samyak arihanta guru masto namastyet.
Okay, so now again we'll be sitting on the perineum and the hands will be in front of you in the Anjali Mudra. Keep your spine straight. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, radiating divine effulgence and an eternal avatar in human form standing before you, overflowing bliss, compassion and infinite Shakti, awakening your being into oneness with Paramashiva. Continue with the Kriti Shrishta Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good, relax. And now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Swadhyasana, the self-study pose. This comes from Yogasana Jaina. Swadhyayasana.
Okay, so now we'll be lifting the hip off the ground. The toes will be pointing to the ground, and again place your hands in the Anjali Mudra, in the Namaskara Mudra in front of you, and visualize and bring your attention inwards like a quiet observer watching the mind without judgment. Feel balance, sharpen awareness, revealing subtle habits, reactions and impulses as they arise and pass, and rest in Swadhyaya, self-study through direct experience, where discipline, honesty and clarity grow from steady Prabandha. Gaze forward and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now let us move to the next asana.
The next is Vishankhasana, the unshackled pose. This comes from the Naradiya Samhita, Vishankasana.
Okay, so now come seated, come to a seated position, and your heels, your toes, your heels will be in front of you, your toes will be pointing downwards, and your heel will be at your perineum, and your palms will be on your knees, palms facing up, and visualize restraints gently falling away from within, and the body remains grounded and upright. Keep your back straight, needing no effort to hold itself. Knees and heels support you steadily as the spine rises unforced, allowing awareness to rest unbound. Experience freedom not as movement but as the absence of inner resistance, stable, open, and quietly unstrained. Continue with the Kriti Shrishta Kumbhaka, the Mula Bandha, and gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is the Panchanga Namas Karasana, the 5-limbed salutation pose. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Ubau Padayor Raghram Ubayor Janostatha Lalatam Chabhumau Nyasya Pranamyarhanta Gurum Stu Namasyet.
Very good. Now here will be tucking the toes, so the toes will be pointing to the ground. Come onto your knees and place your hands in the Namaskara Mudra and lean forward and down. And visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, radiating divine effulgence and eternal avatar in human form standing before you, overflowing bliss, compassion, and infinite Shakti, awakening your being into oneness with Paramashiva. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally. Very good. Relax. And now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Maralasana. This comes from the Yogasana Jaina. Maralasana.
Okay. So now place your palms flat on the ground, the fingers pointing to the feet, and your legs will be straight, your toes will be pointing to the ground. Your toes will be on the ground, you will not be lifting here, you will not be lifting your legs off the ground. Yes, try to keep your legs straight as much as you are able to, and visualize yourself as an elephant, graceful and serene in beauty. You glide effortlessly through life while paddling vigorously underneath the surface in hard effort. You have deep loyalty, lasting love and commitment, and your majestic presence embodies purity, strength, peaceful dignity. And here we'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka, where you'll be inhaling through the nose and exhale evenly, maintaining rhythmic breath without strain, and lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze downwards, and continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now let us move on to the next asana, asana 697. So 3-4 more asanas to go.
The next is the Peacock Pose 3. This comes from the Trulkhor, Mayurasana Trini Purvanga. Vyomavalambhita Shiraprishtam Protsarya Padadvayam Utkshipya Deham Modvam Vyajyet.
Okay. So now here we'll be placing the palms flat on the ground, fingers pointing towards the feet, and we'll be placing the elbows on to the side of the navel, and we'll be lifting the legs up to the sky. Yes, and visualize a magnificent peacock spreading its iridescent feathers in full display. Feel the energy of the peacock filling you with confidence, pride, and spiritual awakening. Like the proud peacock, embody a radiant presence that captivates and inspires, symbolizing renewal, transformation, and the majestic unfolding of your true self. We'll continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next asana is Mayurasana Trini Uttaranga, the peacock pose 3 progression. This comes from the Yoga Nirnaya of Sundaradeva. Mayura asanam nama karatalo nibhi samipya stapayitva koshte padau cha samputapya mayuravad vichared dhruvam.
Okay, so now we'll be coming again on balancing again onto our hands and the fingers pointing to the sky, to the legs, and this time we'll be lifting the legs off the ground, but the legs will be parallel to the ground. We'll not be lifting it off to the at a 45-degree angle. Keep the legs parallel to the ground and visualize a magnificent peacock spreading its iridescent feathers in full display. Feel the energy of the peacock filling you with confidence, pride, and spiritual awakening. So you can also take the help of a partner to help you maintain the legs off the ground, and continue with the Shambhavi Mudra. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, the Sama Kumbhaka, and gaze at the tip of your nose and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Very good. Now let us move on to the next asana.
The next is Mayura Asana Chatur, the Uttaranga Dve, the peacock pose 4 progression. This comes from Trulkhor. Vamaya pravartayitva dakshina cha pravartayet purdhovam cha parivartayet saptanadhin nigatyate.
Okay, so now again we'll be balancing on both the palms, the fingers pointing to the legs. Now one knee will be on the elbow, one elbow will be on the knee and the other leg will be extended, and visualize a magnificent peacock again spreading its iridescent feathers in the full display, and feel the energy of the peacock filling you with confidence, pride, and spiritual awakening. Continue with the Shambhavi Mudra, the Sama Kumbhaka. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Now the last asana before Shivasana.
The next asana is Mayurasana Chaturuttaranga, the peacock pose 4 progression. This is from Trulkhor. Vamaya pravartayitva dakshina cha pravartayet purvodvam cha parivartayet saptanadhin nigatyate.
So now we'll be performing the same asana on the other side, and visualize a magnificent peacock spreading its iridescent feathers in full display. Feel the energy of the peacock filling you with confidence, pride, and spiritual awakening. And like the proud peacock, embody a radiant presence that captivates and inspires, symbolizing renewal, transformation, and the majestic unfolding of your true self. And continue with the Sama Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward and chant internally Om Nithyananda Paramashuvoham. Now let us come to Shavasana Chatvari, the corpse pose 4.
The next is Shavasana Chatvari, the corpse pose 4. This is from the Bhairava Yamala Charyapada. Swarupam Swadehim tu Samvibhavya Sushambharam Tatraiva Nilya Karyaha Pranapana Vilasataha.
So lie down completely flat on your back. Your hands will be by your side, palms facing up, and visualize your body as a sacred offering to death. surrendering reverently. Breath slows and gently merging into silent wave. Each exhale deepens release, tension, thoughts, attachment. Emptied breath by breath. Sense dissolution beyond form, identity. Only pure spacious remains, vast. Only pure spaciousness remains, vast, still and infinite. And gaze inwards in the Shambhavi Mudra. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, and here we will be performing the Kevala Kumbhaka, where you will allow the breath to pause naturally, observe without forcing, maintain relaxed awareness, and let normal breathing resume. Engage the Shambhavi Mudra, keep your eyes closed but steady and gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Continue to chant internally, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Now slowly start
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Ananda Paramashivoham.
Congratulations, and with this we've completed another set of 100 asanas, and we have completed 700 asanas, and tomorrow we are going to be continuing with asana 701, and we'll do another 100 asanas. So please join us again tomorrow at the same time, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. And if you've enjoyed this session, please like, share and subscribe. And you can also scan the QR code here that you see on the screen. Fill out the form if you would like to know more, if you would like to learn more, if you would like to join Kailasa and participate in the various programs. We invite you to scan the QR code and fill out the form. We'll reach out to you and give you more information. So with this, let us end with the Purna Mantra. Place your hands in the Anjali Mudra in front of you and visualize Swamiji, bow down to Swamiji with deep gratitude for gifting us the Nithyananda Yoga. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Parukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you everyone, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Nithyanandam.